Hey everyone, Georgie here with Ukraine Matters. Just a very quick update today, and then we're going to talk about certain other things in the second part of the video. But first and foremost, an update on the Dnipro situation. I told you that we should watch out for potential news because I have been seeing certain things, and indeed, Russian channels finally caught up and they posted some of the news. It's not everything that I saw, there is more, but it's already something. So on this picture over here, we see Russian channels taking a picture of a Ukrainian transport craft delivering a BTR-4 infantry fighting vehicle over Dnipro. Some people said that why would they need this? Because certain Soviet equipment or older American equipment is amphibious. Dnipro is a huge river. It's massive river. Plus there is like quite strong flow of that river around that area. So it's not as easy. So it definitely needs dedicated amphibious vehicles. But what this shows us is that Ukrainians are crossing the river, and not only they're crossing the river with their vehicles, they are also expanding, because we see the progression of Russian channels coming back from we're gonna kick off this Dnipro bridgehead in just a little bit of a time. We already are almost pushing Ukrainians out, to now going in almost complete panic mode. There is messages upon messages upon messages upon posts of Russians just panicking, saying things are not going well. And here I want to explain just a little bit, because I think some people misunderstood when especially we talked about the Zaluzhny's essay about the fact that, well, Ukraine cannot move, but Russia cannot also move towards Ukraine because it's a stalemate, right? Well, it's a stalemate only as if you want to fight head on. The tactics, like this interesting things to take advantage of your enemy being unprepared, to take advantage of your enemy over dedicating themselves to certain area and exposing some certain other areas, is what makes openings possible in a technically, as it was now framed, as a stalemate situation. Not everything as it seems. So far, we're seeing Ukrainians just trying to see if they can establish bridgehead. It doesn't look like a big push towards Crimea that can happen in the coming days. But if Ukrainians will be able to slowly push Russians out, and then maybe step by step get in more and more artillery on here, this can really bring results, because that's exactly what the plan that we're hearing about right now. That's exactly what Russians are reporting. They are stating that right now Ukraine has concentrated a lot of drones on this area, and it's yeah, it's not very nice. Beyond that, we've heard of Russians trying their luck at Vuhledar once again. Vuhledar is located over here. This time they decided to switch it up a bit, the tactics, and attack at night, which ended up at everyone just being completely destroyed at night, and explosions were just that little bit more spectacular because there were on thermal imaging. All of the problems that Zaluzhny has explained, they are affecting all of these major directions. No big pushes right now are possible. This has been proven. Additionally, if we're talking about Avdiivka, because it's now going out of the news cycle, mostly because people are seeing that nothing important is happening from the Russian side, that they cannot advance, no matter of the tactical gains that Russia has technically had around the railway, no matter the take in Terikon, the same as a week before. As soon as they try to move, as soon as they try to advance towards the proper fortified Ukrainian positions, they just get obliterated by artillery. Ukrainians are working really well. There are still reports that Russians are trying to concentrate in the area, but so far, nothing too important. We also got visual confirmation with regards to ship that got destroyed. Some people were not completely sure where it was, so I'm going to show you right here. So you see Kerch is over here. That's the Kerch bridge, and the place where that ship was standing was right there from the bridge up here all the way, oh sorry, a little bit to the south. This is the area where the ship was standing specifically, and that is where the Kerch Bridge is. The total distance between the place where Kerch Bridge is and where the ship was standing is 8 kilometers. And the pictures that we're seeing are very damning. As I explained to you, Russian propaganda, when they're stating that something is just damaged, most likely they're not. It is completely obliterated. We saw both pictures of the aftermath, and there also videos appeared where at least 3 Storm Shadow missiles hit the ship. This ship is gone. It's non-existent. It's just scrap metal. Kaput. Ended. I promised you last Saturday that we're going to start a new fundraiser so we get certain help to Ukrainian armed forces, and this is a very, very special fundraiser because together with Cardinal Birds, the band, and NAFO 69 Sniffing Brigade, we are starting gathering for drones for the defenders of Avdiivka, the 110th brigade that are defending the areas around Avdiivka and the ones that were on the receiving end of that major Russian push, and that they delivered to us these major videos of Russians just burning in hell, which is amazing. And I think this is something that we can help them with. It's in total is going to be 12,000. All of the links is going to be in description. And one special thank you is going to be from the Cardinal Birds. They are a music band and they promised to write a special song for this channel, which is something I think is amazing. I think you as a permanent viewer of this channel, I think you're going to be quite happy hearing a special, I don't know, anthem or something like this of the channel. In all case, check out the links. I'm going to leave the link to Cardinal Birds and how you can help the Ukrainian armed forces. If you were here just for the map update, this is it. A more detailed map update will be coming later this week. But I have a couple of topics that left from the previous video that I made, and I think that it's worth discussing them. First and foremost, I want to talk about General Zaluzhny's article, and more importantly about the surrounding noise around that article. You need to stop listening to media, because I don't understand why are we still discussing that certain newspaper, certain media source said X and that. What you need to already, I hoped that you would by this point already get the same way as I understood over 1 year and a half, is that majority of people that are writing media are reading with their asses. So whenever they're seeing article, they are not usually reading the article. They're usually reading some kind of sum up of the article. And if you just take the headlines or like first part of Zaluzhny's article, you're like reading, oh, Zaluzhny says that it's a stalemate, so I'm just going to sum it up, and it's going to be meaning that Zaluzhny is like all doomer, Ukraine is lost, yada yada. It's time to release all of the articles that we had in our backpack and we just never released. For example, New York Times released an article that there is right now potential, some sources say that Ukraine is being now pushed to negotiating table. When you read the actual article, they state that it was happening actually a month before. So if you have information from a month before, why are you just releasing it now? And the answer is very simple, because there is some kind of a hype wave and they're just grasping this hype wave. You're being very much manipulated on your emotions. So if you're still feeling worries, please don't, because Zaluzhny's article, when you actually read the paper, and you should watch the video where I took it line by line, then you actually understand that what he's saying is not doomerism and everything is lost. He actually does extremely the opposite. What he does is he realistically looks at the situation that's on the field and provides a clear path towards how these problems can be resolved. Zaluzhny's article mostly is focused around how do we get out of this situation that we find ourselves in, which is an amazing, and it should be the article saying, Zaluzhny says how we go forward, how Ukraine wins. And thankfully, not everyone is a media hype. The more important thing is what are the people that are in power are actually taking from this. So if you drop reading all of those hype media articles that are saying that, oh my God, Zelensky is Zaluzhny in conflict or anything like this, it's all complete garbage, too long to talk about. What is important is that it's already taking effect. I cannot say about Western powers. I'm still looking for their reaction in actual actions. But already in Ukraine, there is already things that are going on that are specifically aimed to tackle the problems that Zaluzhny outlined. First and foremost, Zaluzhny outlined the importance of drones. So a lot of Ukrainian municipalities started dedicating money to production and purchase of FPV drones because Zaluzhny explained that a lot of drones are needed. Beyond that, there is already certain legislation that are being processed on how to optimize the Ukrainian military service, how to tackle the issues, the long-standing issues of people that have rich history and experience in certain fields, for those experiences to be utilized in the military, and how to make military more professional, how to make it more Finnish-like, where a lot of people are getting constantly trained and they can be called in if required. There is a lot of movements already specifically on those points. Beyond that, we see changes already happening in legislation even more. Just recently, there was bureaucratic barriers removed from import of drones to Ukraine. Now, drones, instead of being processed for like 2-3 months that they were so far, and don't ask why, that's the problem that Zaluzhny outlined. But now, drones that are being imported to Ukraine can reach certain units within 3 days, which is amazing, amazing. All in all, what I'm seeing is that Zaluzhny's plan, I don't want to put it as an article because what he laid out is a plan on how to get stronger as Ukraine and outline specific areas where Ukraine needs to get stronger are already working. There is already targeted effort, at least within Ukraine. And I hope within Western societies, within Western governments, we're going to see the same. We're going to see people looking at Zaluzhny's article that Ukrainian diplomats are going to explain that this is a roadmap. We should try to get it on board. And I'm hoping that the same effect will be achieved also in the West. And again, I want to tackle the discussion about someone pushing Ukraine into talks. No one is going to push Ukraine into talks if Ukraine doesn't want it. Ukrainian society is still very solidified. It is clear that Ukraine is dependent on the Western partners for supply of weapons, but Ukrainians have already decided they will resist in any way. They don't really have a choice. So even if US or European Union will stop supplying Ukraine with weapons, it doesn't mean that the war will end. It means Ukraine will continue resisting with whatever it has. They will try to look for additional options on how to fight this war. It's not going to be easy, and Ukraine is never going to be surrendering very, very easy, but it's going to be blood on our hands. So no one is going to push Ukraine. Please don't remove the agency from Ukrainians. Secondly, fair talk. I don't think that discussions about negotiations have ever ended. I think it's just not in a way as we are presuming it. A lot of times we're reading about, oh, Ukraine is being pressured to get into the discussion. And we think about this, okay, someone is coming to Ukrainians and saying, we're going to take away your weapons if you don't start talking with Putin. That is not always what is meant. Very different situation might be someone approaching Ukrainians and saying, do you think Putin would be interested in talking? Can we try to find some leverage on him? How is Ukraine? Can you guys still fight? Is it still possible? What is your society? You see, these are technically also talks about potential negotiations, but the context is very different. So when you're reading about anonymous sources telling who knows what, who knows where, to by who knows whom, it's just crap. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. Please support the Ukrainian Armed Forces with the links in description. Very short video today, but tomorrow we're going to have a stream together with Mercado Media. I hope you will join me there, and more videos to come with more updates on Ukraine. Slava Ukraini, guys. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.